Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. This week's featured raid is King's Fall. There are a couple firsts with this particular raid. It is the first of the featured raids to already have challenges, meaning that veterans of the Taken King should know how this challenge is by heart at this point. But I realize that there are many players who started playing with Rise of Iron, and have even been surprised with the number of players that maybe played during Vanilla, but have now returned for Age of Triumph, hence this video. Another first is that this is the first of the raids to not feature elemental primaries in its original incarnation. That means that we don't know the elements for the exotic adept primaries from this set, with the exception of Doom of Chelchis adept, which we know is void thanks to Instagram. But we still have the Smite of Moraine adept, Anguish of Drisden adept, and Zalu's Bane adept as mysteries, so it'll be interesting to see what elements these end up being. Alas, to attain these weapons, you need to complete the challenge modes for King's Fall at 390 while they're featured, like this week. This is also the first and only raid to feature 3 challenges, one for Warpriest, one for Golgoroth, and one for Oryx. I did guides on these back in the day when the raid was fresh, but I still decided to make a new video with some updated strategies now that most of us have played through the challenge so many times now. So without further ado, let's get into the challenges. Starting with the Warpriest, the challenge isn't too complicated. It's actually very similar to the Crota challenge from Crota's End. Basically, a different person needs to grab the aura each time. It doesn't matter if people die, it doesn't matter which plate grants the aura, as long as the same person doesn't have it more than once. It's even okay if you die in the middle of having the aura and someone else takes it over, as long as the person that is randomly selected to take it over hasn't held the aura before. Luckily this time around we do have the challenge failed notification on the bottom left hand side in case something goes wrong. To do this encounter well, you're going to want to designate 2 players on the left side of the map, 2 players on the middle, and 2 on the right. It's also a good idea to designate who from each of those teams is going to grab the plate, and in turn the aura if it does land on your side. Proceed through the encounter as normal, taking out all of the adds and your major knight at the end. Once the glyph sequence starts, someone needs to call out which order the glyphs are appearing in. I usually recommend going with the second person from the middle that can stand in between the glyph and the platform. From this location you have clear visibility on all of the glyphs and can call it out easily to the rest of your team. You then need to stand on the plates in the order that they are called out, and the third plate of course gets the aura. If you pull out your Black Spindles, Event Horizons, Longbows, 1000-Yard Stairs, Sleeper Simulants, you should be able to do this in 2 damage cycles, and I'm sure you'll have teams easily doing it in 1 cycle. For completing the new challenge, you are rewarded with an exotic elemental primary, an Age of Triumph ornament, and the Worm's God Servant emblem if you didn't have it already. Moving on to Golgoroth, this challenge is a bit more complex and requires good team communication and participation by everyone, not unlike the Atheon challenge. The challenge is to defeat Golgoroth with each member of the team having captured his gaze once during each of the damage rotations. You can also never fail to grab his gaze. The easiest strategy goes as follows. You start the encounter as normal by clearing all the adds, and then the rest of the team is working on the orb and distracting Golgoroth from the right side of the map. The first grabber then captures the gaze from the left side and gets in position. The grabber then downs the orb and everyone else gets in the pool to do damage to Golgoroth. The first grabber then needs to count down the timer that he has on the bottom left hand side. At the very least you need to count down the 10-second mark and the 5-second mark. At the 10-second mark, grabber number 2 needs to leave the pool and get to the back right position. At the 5-second mark, that grabber needs to grab the gaze. You will do this until everyone has grabbed the gaze once. When grabber number 6 gets the gaze, he or she should run towards spawn, and so should everyone else to help shoot away Golgoroth's secret orbs. Number 6 should alert everyone at 5 seconds so you can scatter back to the left and right to clear adds again. This is the safest way to clear the encounter, and you shouldn't need more than 2 rotations with solid DPS. I recommend a high impact machine gun and a good sniper rifle. Defeating Golgoroth will award you with another exotic elemental primary, an Age of Triumph ornament, and the Devourer of Light emblem. Moving on to the Oryx challenge, I said this in my original guide, and it still stands true. The Oryx challenge is actually the safest and most effective way to clear the encounter, and you complete the challenge by simply detonating all 16 bombs at once. You do this by letting the bombs stack on top of each other after each rotation. This means that you need to quickly take out your ogre so the bombs are stacked as close together as possible. And it also means that you need to be sure to take out your Light Eater Knight. My best piece of advice for this encounter is to call it out if you haven't or can't kill your knight. There are 2 people in the middle for DPS that can help out. Also remember that the Touch of Malice has been altered so that it instantly burns off Blessing of Light, so you can no longer rely on the infinite ammo trick. This isn't that big of a deal though, everyone just needs to help out with their ogres by emptying a clip or so and maybe throwing in a grenade. After the 4th rotation, everyone runs to the bombs that are next to the last plate they were on, and the 4th set should be taken care of by one of the middle DPS players. Also, one person, usually the relic holder, needs to count down when everyone needs to step on their plate, so you're coordinated together. Once you step in the bomb, watch for your name to pop up in the lower left hand side 4 times. Once this happens, make it back to the middle and help keep Oryx's chest open for all 16 detonations. For completing the Oryx challenge, you will receive an exotic elemental primary, an Age of Triumph ornament, and the Of Light and Hunger emblem. And that's it for the King's Fall challenges. Next week's featured raid will be Wrath of the Machine, and I think I remember Bungie teasing that there's something new in store, but I don't know if that's necessarily referring to potential changes to the challenges themselves. We'll just have to wait and see. And sadly, no additional milestones to complete in the record book for King's Fall. A time trial for daughters or something like that would have been fun, but I suppose there's plenty of milestones already. Before I go, I did want to give a quick update on the shirt campaign that I have going on my website. We've sold over 50% of what I need to reach to be able to produce the shirt. So if you want to support the channel while also contributing to charity, click the link in the description to buy my shirt. Anyways, drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time. Next up, we have the return of the Iron Banner next week, and thankfully the game type is Control. This is my favorite game type for Iron Banner, so I'll be definitely going to rank 5 for that record book milestone. The guns this time around are the Unbent Tree Auto Rifle and the Proud Spire Shotgun. If you don't have a Proud Spire yet, I highly recommend you seek this gun out during the event.